Welcome to SVTV News. I am Samira Ibrahim with today's bulletin, but first the major headlines. Insecurity in the north caused by discrimination, injustice to underprivileged, says EMIR of Gusau. MIYETTI President blasts Fulani leaders over insecurity and disunity. Senators and House of Reps members were angry over KATSINA PUPILS adoption. On business, block SIMs without national identification number after 2 weeks, federal government tells telcos. On sport, National Sports Festival scheduled to hold in February. And on the international scene, top Republicans congratulate Biden. Now the news in details. The Emir of Gusau in Zamfara State, Alhaji Bello Ibrahim, has disclosed that the insecurity bedeviling north was as a result of discrimination and injustice to the underprivileged in the area. The Emir, who said this on Tuesday at Karma Hotel in Gusau during a retreat on interest-based negotiation and alternative dispute resolution organized by a non-governmental organization, Pastoral Resolve, said poverty has also contributed to insecurity in the north. He said discrimination and injustice were the key factors responsible for insecurity in the entire north. For more details on this story, over now to our correspondent, Fatima Ibrahim.
Also speaking at the retreat, the Emir of Anka and Chairman Zamfara State Council of Chiefs, Alhaji Atahir Muhammad Ahmed, said, "People have to be sincere and say the truth at all costs and love one another. In Arewa today, only God loves us. We depend on no one to protect us. Therefore, for peace to reign, we should be sincere to ourselves, speak the truth and love one another." Delivering the lecture at the retreat, the Permanent Commissioner, Kaduna State Peace Commission, Hajia Khadija Hawajo, advised traditional rulers in the state to change their perception in addressing insecurity in the state. As custodian of Islamic norms and value, traditional rulers need to be more alive to ensure they sensitize their subjects on the need to live in harmony with one another. Fatima Ibrahim reporting for SVTV News.
The Defense Headquarters says the troops of Operation Hadarin Daji have apprehended 7 suspected bandits and 5 of their collaborators in different operations in Zamfara State. The coordinator, Defense Media Operations, General John Enichi, in a statement on Tuesday, said the operations, which took place on Monday, also resulted in recovery of weapons and logistics. General Enichi said the troops successfully ambushed some marauding bandits around Magizawa, Kani, Zango, Tabani, and Nasamu villages of Kauran Namoda local government area of Zamfara State. For more details on this story, Musa Joy reports.
He said the operation was conducted sequel to actionable intelligence on the movement of bandits in the area, leading to the arrest of 7 bandits. According to him, many of the bandits were killed, while several others fled into the forest with fatal gunshot wounds. He said that the troops also recovered 1 magazine with 17 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition during the operation. General Eneche said the troops also apprehended a suspected bandit logistics supplier while attempting to convey 20 brand new motorcycles carefully concealed in a J5 bus to a suspected bandit camp. According to him, the suspect and his conductor confirmed that the consignment was to be delivered to a designated location in Jibia in Katsina State during preliminary investigation. He said the suspects were currently undergoing further investigation, after which they would be handed over to the relevant prosecuting agency for further action. The coordinator also disclosed that 4 suspected bandit collaborators were intercepted at Raudama village with an unspecified number of suspected rostered cows. According to him, the suspect initially claimed to have recovered their cattle from suspected rustlers, but preliminary investigation, however, revealed that the suspects were beneficiaries of proceeds of cattle rustling. Musa Joy Onyoza reporting for SVTV News, Gusau.
The Zamfara State chapter of the Nigerian Medical Association has suspended its one-week strike it embarked upon to protest the poor remuneration of medical doctors working in the state. Dr. Manir Bature, the chairman of NMA, announced the suspension in a statement on Tuesday in Gusau. Newsmen gathered that the NMA had on December 10th directed its members to embark on a one-week strike. In a statement, the chairman of the association informed the general public that the NMA has suspended the one-week strike it embarked upon last week Thursday. According to him, the suspension of the strike followed approval of the restoration of call duty allowances to all medical doctors working with the state government by Governor Bello Muhammad Matawalli Maradon. This is the outcome of an extensive meeting between representatives of the government and the Nigerian Medical Association Zamfara State Chapter. Zamfara State government has closed down 10 boarding schools in the state to prevent possible abduction of students by bandits. Speaking to journalists in the press conference on Tuesday, the Commissioner of Education, Dr. Ibrahim Abdullahi, said the schools will remain closed until the security improves. The affected schools, according to the Commissioner, are government secondary schools in Zurmi, GSS Birnin Magaji Boarding, and GASS Zurmi Boarding, Science Secondary School Sadau Boarding, and Science Secondary School Bukuyum Boarding. Others are GDSS Nasarawa Mailai Day, GDSS Gusami Day, and GDSS Gurbin Bori Day. Alhaji Ibrahim Abdullahi said they will not want what happened in Katsina to happen in Zamfara State. All the principals of the affected schools have been directed to ensure immediate closure of the affected schools. The Commissioner also called on parents and guardians to exercise patience and cooperate with the government, adding that the security of students is their utmost priority at the moment. Similarly, Kaduna, Kano, and Jigawa State have also closed down all schools in their domains till further notice. Zamfara State First Lady Haja Aisha Muhammad Matawalli Maradon has distributed delivery kits to 1,100 pregnant women in Maru and Safi local government areas of the state. A statement in Gusau on Tuesday by the Press Secretary Office of the First Lady Hajia Zainab Shuaibu said the gesture was to reduce child and maternal mortality rate. Newsmen gathered that the distribution of delivery kit packages was part of the First Lady's 10,000 Mama Kit project for pregnant women across the state's 14 local government areas. For more details on the story, Peter Phillips reports.
Hajia Zainab Shuaibu said that the gesture was also to encourage delivery at health facilities, especially in the rural communities. The press secretary stated that the First Lady, who was represented by Hajia Fatima Musa, said the gesture was part of her intervention to ensure safe delivery among pregnant women in the state. Hajia Fatima Musa, who is the special advisor, Office of the First Lady, said the gesture is an extension of the First Lady's social protection activities in the health sector for women and children. She advised the women to ensure that they attend antenatal frequently in order to ensure safe deliveries. According to the statement, the Commissioner for Health, Alhaji Yahaya Kanuma, commended the First Lady for initiating the Mama Kit project to support pregnant women in the state. Alhaji Yahaya Kanuma described this gesture as a humanitarian service, as it helped many pregnant women to afford safer and standard hospital services. The wife of the sole administrator of Maru local government, Hajia Binta Dangulbi, thanked the First Lady for her efforts to improve the lives of women and children in the state. She pleaded for the sustainability of the project considering its impact on the lives of women and children in the state. Peter Phillips reporting for SVTV News Gusau.
Zamfara State Government has announced the dissolution of all committees set up for the tribuning of the Governor of Zamfara State, Dr. Bello Muhammad Matawalli, Al-Shatima of Sokoto, Chairman of the Central Committee of the event and former Minister of State for Finance, Ambassador Bashir Yukoda, who announced the dissolution, said the decision was taken in consideration of the tragedy of abduction of school pupils that befalls the neighboring Katsina people few days ago. He said Zamfara State Government has to show concern over what happened with its neighbors in Katsina, and said the State Governor has to show concern with the development in his neighboring state, Katsina. Ambassador Yugoda said that The state government is also concerned with the recent resurgence of COVID-19 and has to take measures aimed at ensuring that COVID-19 protocols are observed. It could be recalled that Sokoto Sultanate Council had recently conferred the title of Shatiman Sokoto to Governor Bello Muhammad Matawalli Maradon via a letter handed down to him at the State Government House, Gusau. National President of the MIYETTI Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Alhaji Muhammad Kirowa, has slammed the various state leaders of the group for the rise of insecurity in most parts of the country. Alhaji Kirowa stated this at the inauguration ceremony of Northwestern State Executives of MACBAN held in Dutse. He said state FULANI leaders were responsible for the spread of insecurity in their domain as they allowed youth to go on rampage against other citizens. For more details on this story, over now to our correspondent, Hawa Muhammad.
The president, who could not hide his anger at the occasion, explained that it is a common fact that the Fulanis are victims of various forms of persecutions and criminalities due to what he described as death of on media by the Fulani to express their voices. He said, before any other person gets kidnapped, about 20 or more Fulani people must have suffered the same fate with payment of ransoms, which no media has bothered to report or investigate in the past. He explained that people have to tell themselves the truth, that they have failed in their responsibility of giving their children the right training and good upbringing that ought to have shaped them for better people. The MIYETTI Allah president said they cannot continue to wallow in denial when it is a fact that majority of criminals arrested across the country are from within Fulanis who have gone into the cycle because of their sheer negligence. The Kirowa, who is also the Earth Zuru, stated that the ball is now in the court of leaders and the rest of the Fulani societies to either unite and provide their children with a better home training and education or continue to train the name of the tribe in ineptness. Hawa Muhammad, reporting for SVTV.
The House of Representatives has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to immediately reinstate the sacked Director General of the National Directorate of Employment, NDE, Nasir Argungu. The lawmakers made the call on Tuesday while adopting a motion brought under matters of urgent national importance by Olajide Olatuboson. The motion focused on the 774,000 temporary jobs to be created in public works initiated by President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. The jobs led to a disagreement between the lawmakers and the Minister of State for Labour, Festus Keyamo. Mr. Argungu is believed to have sided with the lawmakers. The lawmakers condemned the sack of the DG, whom they described as a man that stood up for the right things to be done. President Muhammadu Buhari had last week, through his spokesperson, announced Mr. Argungu's sack. No reason was given for the sack and directive was meant to take effect from Monday, 7th December. The Kebbi State Government, through the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, has commenced the training of commissioners and senior government officials on Information and Communication Technology (ICT) towards ensuring efficiency in the civil service of the state. Consequently, Governor Abdullah has approved the imparting of digital skills to all categories of government operatives, from messengers to the top officials. Kebbi State Government was strategizing on the actualization of an e-commerce scheduled to be rolled out in 2021. For more details on the story, Fose Ibrahim reports.
The Commissioner for Information and Communication Technology (ICT), Alhaji Abdullahi Maigura, stated this while flagging off the training in Birnin Kebbi on Monday. He said that this is in line with the state government's e-governance plan and other ICT tools that would bolster effective service delivery. According to the Commissioner, already an ICT capacity building workshop was in progress, starting with commissioners, permanent secretaries, special advisors, as well as head of parastatals, commissioners and agencies before moving on to the other staff and key stakeholders of the society. He said that Governor Atiku Bagudu has directed the ministry as a matter of necessity to make digital skill available and accessible to everyone. It is his conviction that Kebbi State must align itself with the digital world, which is highly essential for improved productivity in governance, businesses, and enhanced economic prosperity. This is the first time since such training is being carried out, and this is because Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu has identified some gaps for as far as ICT skills are concerned. Fawzia Ibrahim, reporting for SVTV.
The Nasarawa State Commissioner of Health, Farm Ahmed Baba Yahaya, said the target of the Nasarawa State government is to reduce the prevalence rate of HIV/AIDS to zero level, while assuring that this is achievable through consistent partnership with donor agencies, implementing partners and other stakeholders that will fight the epidemic in the state. The Commissioner stated this at the 5-day workshop on 2020 Annual Operational Plan Review and 2020 Annual Operational Plan Development for HIV Health Sector Response at Kini Country, INN, Akwanga. He further explained that the prevalence of HIV scourge was reducing due to the support from the government, public sensitization, various support from partners and efforts by the staff of the Health Ministry in fighting the scourge. He therefore expressed determination of the health team in the fight against HIV in the state to do their best to achieve the global target of eliminating the scourge by 2030. Senators and House of Representatives members on Tuesday expressed frustration over the rising spate of insecurity in the country. The Senate condemned the kidnapping of over 300 boys from the Government Science Secondary School, Kankara, KATSINA State. It, however, rejected a prayer to summon the Minister of Defense, Service Chiefs, Director General of the Department of Services, DSS, and the Inspector General of Police, IGP, over the attack and kidnap of the school children in KATSINA at the weekend. For more details on this story, over and to our correspondent, Peter Phillips.
The Senate urged President Muhammadu Buhari to implement all its resolutions on the security situation in the country. Some of the lawmakers called for drastic measures to secure the people from bandits and insurgents. Meanwhile, the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, Zone A, has asked the Nigerian government to, within 6 days ultimatum, ensure that the adopted schoolboys from Government Science School, Kankara, KATSINA, are rescued. NANS is the umbrella body of Nigerian students across primary, secondary and tertiary institutions. Mr. Abdullahi Saleh, NANS Secretary General Zone A, who spoke on Tuesday, stated that angry Nigerian students are going to storm KATSINA State Government House if by December 21st the students were not rescued. He said they will all come out with their mats, blankets, food and water, and nothing would discourage them until students are back, then they will leave the ground. The growing insecurity in the country, according to him, suggests that Nigerian security architecture is no longer effective. Mr. Saleh lamented that attacks on education are not limited to the damage of educational infrastructure, but also include attacks on key educational assets. That's the report. I am Peter Phillips reporting for SVTV News, Gusau.
The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has confirmed 758 new cases of coronavirus in the country. A statement from the center indicates that 74,132 cases were confirmed in the country, while 66,494 cases were treated and discharged. The center confirmed that 1,200 deaths were recorded since the outbreak of the pandemic. Let me quickly take you to our business desk for the business update.
Welcome to Business Desk. The federal government has issued an ultimatum to all telecommunications operators in the country to block all subscriber identification modules (SIMs) without national identification number. It also ordered the network operators to ask all their subscribers to provide valid NIN to update their records and suspend SIM registration. These formed part of the resolutions adopted for immediate implementation by all network operators at an urgent meeting of key stakeholders in the communications industry held in Abuja. The spokesman for the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Ikechukwu Adinde, noted in a statement on Tuesday that the meeting was convened on Monday by the Minister, Dr. Issa Fantami. According to him, the meeting resolved that the submission of NIN by subscribers would take place between December 16 and 30th, 2020. The government stated that after the deadline, all SIMs without NINs should be blocked from the networks, while a ministerial task force comprising the minister and all the chief executive officers, among others, as members would monitor compliance by all networks. It warned that violations of the directives by any network operator would be met by stiff sanctions, including the possibility of withdrawal of operating licenses. Mr. Adinde explained that the meeting followed the earlier directive on the suspension of new SIM registration by network operators. And that's all on Standard Voice Business Update. Back to the newsroom.
Thank you, Musa Joy. On sports, over to Fawzia Ibrahim.
After being postponed due to COVID-19 restrictions, the National Sport Festival has now been scheduled to hold from February 14th to 28th. The National Council on Sport made the announcement on Thursday via press statement. The National Council on Sport, under the chairmanship of the Ministry of Youth and Sport Development, Mr. Sunday Dare, at an extraordinary Council on Sport virtual meeting held on 15th December 2020, unanimously agreed to host the National Sport Festival 2020 on 14th to 20th, 2021. Justifying the reason behind the postponement from the initial date of 3rd to 18th December 2020, the Minister explains to members of Council the need for better precautionary measures against COVID-19, bearing in mind the expected influx of holiday makers during the festival period, as agreed between the Ministry, the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 and the host states. It will be recalled that the Nigerian Sport Festival, tagged Edo 2020, was originally slated to hold early this year, precisely in March, but for the outbreak of COVID-19, which necessitated the postponement for suspension of all sporting activities to guard against the spread of COVID-19 virus nationwide. And that's all on the sport update. I'm Fawzia Ibrahim. Have a nice day.
And on the international scene, U.S. President-elect Joe Biden gestures in celebration after delivering remarks in Wellington, Delaware on November 7, 2020, after being declared the winners of the presidential election. One day after the Electoral College confirmed Joe Biden as U.S. President-elect, the top Republican in Congress broke weeks of election silence Tuesday and sent a sober message to the defiant President Donald Trump, saying it's over. For more than a month, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell had refused to recognize Biden, his former longtime Senate colleague, as the winner of the November 3rd contest, adding that the protest will take time to play out. But as Trump's unprecedented bid to overturn the result crashed and burned, and with electors on Monday confirming Biden's victory 306 to 232, McConnell became the most powerful member of the Republican Party to publicly acknowledge Biden's victory. The Electoral College has spoken, so McConnell congratulated Biden on the Senate floor. And that has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. The Emir of Gusau has said that insecurity in the north is caused by discrimination and injustice to underprivileged. MIYETTI President blasts FULANI leaders over insecurity and disunity. Senators and House of Rep members were angry over KATSINA people's abduction. On business, block SIM cards without national identification number after 2 weeks, federal government tells telcos. On sport, National Sport Festival scheduled to hold in February 2021. And on the international scene, top Republicans congratulate Biden. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew, Head of News and Current Affairs Department, Ibrahim Grabatunov, I am Samira Ibrahim, wishing you a pleasant day. Keep watching Standard Voice Television News. Goodbye.